If you feel like you've tried every system, routine, or productivity hack under the sun in order to get a handle on your to do list and the mental load of motherhood, but still haven't quite cracked the code, it could be time to start outsourcing some of your weekly or monthly responsibilities in order to free up more time and space in your day so that you can put your valuable time and energy into the things that matter most to you and your family. And I get it. Few of us are willing to outsource the things that we've been doing for years on our own. It's hard to justify putting money toward a task that you've managed well up until this point. But don't worry, I am sharing a budget friendly approach to outsourcing so many of your routine tasks and responsibilities on a budget of $100 per week. The idea here is to help you warm up to the idea of being supported by other individuals and freeing up your capacity to not only enjoy your time with your family more, but also be able to put the time and effort into the things where your expertise are really needed. I hope you're as excited as I am to explore ways to outsource without feeling like you're breaking the bank. If that's what you need more of in your life today, you're in the right place. Let's simplify things together. I'm Erin Christopoulos, a mother of two and teacher-turned-mom strategist who puts the pieces of mom life together so you don't have to. I get that you're short on time and don't have the capacity to figure out everything on your own, which is why I'm here to help you get clear on where to put your focus while protecting your time and energy so you can actually enjoy these years with your little ones. I'm ditching the overwhelming and unrealistic one-size-fits-all tactics and replacing them with an approach that's practical and personal, because I believe your family is one of a kind with its own qualities and values that deserve an adaptable approach, offering support and encouragement where you need it most. From honest conversations and mindset shifts to practical tips and sustainable strategies, consider this your customizable guide to mom life. With the tools and resources you need at your fingertips, you'll finally have the confidence and clarity you need to bring more intention and ease to everyday life so that you and your family thrive. This is the Mom Life Handbook. Now, last week on the podcast, we kicked off this two-part series, which honestly, I didn't mean to make this a two-parter, but once I recorded the episode that I'm about to share with you today, I realized, first of all, it was much longer than any mom really has time to sit down and listen to. So we needed to cut it down. But then also, it felt really important to give you practical ideas for where you could actually free up some money in order to reinvest it in these services. These 5 resources combined should save you at least 5 hours a week. So we're talking about 20 hours of time saved over the next month. So please be open-minded to giving these resources a try in the month ahead to see which really feel like they helped lighten the mental load and free you up to enjoy life a little bit more. Trust me, your family is going to thank you for that, because when you're feeling less stressed and overwhelmed, you're more yourself, you're more connected, and all of that feels so much more meaningful to everyone in your home. So the premise of this episode is that if you can set aside $100 a week, I'm going to share with you my top 5 favorite resources that I rely on to lighten the mental load in my home that you could also utilize on a budget of $100 a week over the next month to give some of these ideas a try. So if you're feeling like, sounds great, but $100 every week really adds up, not sure where I'm going to get that set aside, be sure to check out part 1 of this episode, because that's where I really break down for you the strategy to help free up a whole lot of money. And possibly even more importantly, we spend a lot of time diving into the mindset around spending money on outsourcing for tasks that we have been managing on our own for so long. It can be really hard to convince yourself that that's a worthwhile use of money when you've been managing thus far. So if that's something that really brings resistance up for you when it comes to lightening your mental load, that episode is going to be the perfect fit for you. So be sure to check that out. Today is really going to be more about just diving right into the resources that I recommend you give a try. All of these are linked in the show notes for you. Any promotion codes that I have for you to help save even more money are also there. So make sure that you visit the show notes to get all of those savings. And remember, not everything, and remember, lightening the mental load isn't just about outsourcing. This is one facet of supporting the mental load. I have a great 3-part series on managing the mental load that I will link to in the show notes as well. And that really focuses more on what are the strategies and the mindset shifts that you can do for free that are going to help you feel the difference and feel like everything is more manageable. So I never want to convey that it's just a one-size-fits-all solution for what we're up against as moms. In reality, I think it's very complex. And so each different podcast episode that covers managing the mental load is really pinpointing a unique facet, or angle that we can really hone in on and get clear about. So today we're focusing on what can you just delegate to someone else and trust that it's handled so that you can focus on the tasks that really are best suited for your strengths and what you have to offer to your family, as well as free yourself up for rest and rejuvenation, or putting the time and energy saved into other interests that really get you excited or light you up or feel equally important to you. Now, something to bear in mind is that there is a learning curve with outsourcing, and you have to be patient in terms of figuring out which resources feel most supportive to you and when, as well as building your confidence in handing off tasks to other individuals. And sometimes that includes more communication up front in order to be clear about what it is that you need or what you're looking for or how you want things done. But if you are willing to put that time and effort in on the front end, it's going to pay off in dividends later, because eventually it'll be something that just runs like a well-oiled machine, or that you really don't have to think about as much because you're not communicating as often, because you've established a mutual understanding and things are good to go. So the first resource is one of my favorites, and it's going to sound so silly. You're going to be like, what am I even going to use that for? But bear with me, hear me out. It's a virtual personal assistant platform called Johanna. I first tried Johanna out in August of last year, and I've been using it on an as-needed basis, especially during the busier times of mom life, to help reduce the mental load. I feel like as life gets busier during like back to school season or the holidays or the transition into summers, these are the times where I rely on Johanna to help me do a lot more of the heavy lifting when it comes to doing things like researching gift ideas or even ordering them and having them delivered to the recipients, or planning holiday menus or event logistics, having them research travel and making reservations for my family vacation, finding local service providers for various seasonal needs. I really like this service because it's entirely app-based. I can put in a request in under a minute and have the peace of mind that all of the time-consuming research or tasks that I really don't want to spend my time on can just be handled, and that I'll be notified as soon as the work's been done. And that is such a peace of mind. And this is an example of the more you use the platform, the better the support gets, because they're more familiar with how you like things done, where you like to do business, and it just streamlines the whole process even more. What I also love is that if you're going to use something like Johanna on a more ongoing basis, is that you can actually schedule recurring tasks. So, for example, if you want them to meal plan for you on a weekly or monthly basis, you can let them know, here are my preferences in terms of, types of food, ingredients to avoid, how much time I'm willing to spend on these meals. If you want them to be something you can do as a make ahead or a crock pot meal, and then let them know how often you want them to repeat the task, and it'll just be handled. They could even manage ordering your groceries for you, having them delivered to your house. I mean, you can get as granular and specific with this as you'd like. It's incredible. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to johanna.com, YOHANA, and use the promo code YOERIN, YOERIN. That's going to get you your first month for $50. That's $12.25 a week. What I love about Johanna is there's no limit to the number of tasks you can have them help you with in a month. So truly, the more you use it, the better value it becomes. On average, Johanna saves family a minimum of 2 hours a week. So that's about $6 an hour. I cannot recommend Johanna enough. It really is an incredible service that holds so much potential and really saves me a lot of time and stress, especially when it comes to researching and planning. That to me is what always takes me so much more time than I ever need to spend. So giving them special projects to work on is always a winner in my book. Now, when I think of something else that really contributes to the daily grind, it's meal planning and prepping for my family. That's 21 meals a week for my family, not to even mention the countless snacks that my kids consume on a daily basis. Now, I've gotten pretty good about my system for managing breakfasts and lunches, but dinner is something that continues to take a lot of time and energy if I'm not really protective of it. And something that has been a complete godsend are meal kits. I have used meal delivery services in some shape or form consistently over the last 10 years. And I know that they can be pricey, but I wanted to first look at why I really view them as a worthwhile investment. And then I'll also share with you one of my favorite go-tos. Now, when I'm looking at the cost of buying the ingredients for my family to have dinner, it comes out to be about $5.60 per serving. The caveat here is, again, unpaid labor. I'm not paying myself to plan the dinners, go to the store and shop for them, come home, prep all the ingredients and put them in the fridge, and then cook them. So there's a lot of time and effort that I am putting into that in order to spend the $5.60 per serving, right? If I had to put a time value on all of my effort, the cost per serving would be a lot more. So what I've found is that paying the difference of $35 a week for the service aspect of meal planning, grocery shopping, and grocery delivery, and time-saving recipes, and minimizing food waste that meal delivery companies are giving to me, it feels more than worth it. Now, when I was working a full-time job, we consistently had meal delivery on a weekly basis. Now that I'm home every day, it's a lot easier for me to be able to manage this and fit the time and effort into the capacity that I have. But I will tell you, there are busier times where I am 100% relying on meal delivery kits to get us through the week. And I love the flexibility of being able to do just that. My favorite service that delivers across the US is Home Chef. I feel like they are a really great resource in terms of having recipes that are really time conscious, flexibility in terms of how many servings you want to order or how many meals you'd like in a week or when you'd like to receive the meals. I feel like there is always a range of options available that my family is going to enjoy, and the recipes are very time conscious, which means a lot to me. I also like the option to upgrade the ingredients. So if you want ingredients that are organic or you want grass-fed beef, those are options that you can also choose to pay for. So I have a promo code for you for Home Chef to give it a try. You can save $35 with the code ErinC846. I'll put it in the show notes. And I want you to give that a try. And I don't want you to think about it as this is costing me X amount of dollars for a meal kit. I want you to think about how much would you already be spending on the ingredients for those meals? And then what's the difference there? And what's the time savings benefit that you're getting from it? When you can start to look at it that way, in terms of saving at least 2 hours a week in the planning, shopping, and prepping, and you're gaining that convenience, time saved, and reduced food waste, it can be more than worth it. So give it a try. Have a few of your dinners delivered this month and see how that feels. Because I've found that the ease of meal planning and the convenience of just having it all show up on my doorstep significantly reduces the mental load that I'm managing when I'm feeling at my busiest. Now, an honorable mention here, if that still feels like an investment you're not ready to make, I highly recommend at least relying on a grocery service from stores like Target or Whole Foods. It's possible other supermarket chains in your area offer a similar service, sometimes even for free. Target and Whole Foods both are a subscription-based model. I think it's about an average of $10 a month for either of them so that you could pick up your groceries for free. They can be delivered for free, but you do have to factor in a tip. But as I view it, for the extra $2.50 a week, the grocery prices are the same. So why not let someone else help you out for that minimal cost and at least do your grocery shopping for you? So be sure to check those out, even if you feel like a full meal kit isn't on the table for you right now. Now, the third one I feel like is a huge time saver, but also a service that so many families resist, and that is having your home cleaned by a cleaning service. Now, hear me out. I know that you're capable of cleaning your home, and I'm also going to argue that it is one of the most physically exhausting tasks that are a part of the daily grind, and that energy has so much potential to be put toward other things that feel more meaningful and impactful than a clean bathroom. At the same time, I get it. Our homes have to be clean, but it doesn't have to be you. I recently had the realization as well, thinking about our home as a single family home. It's a lot to clean it. I mean, bare minimum, cleaning the kitchen and the bathrooms and doing a quick dust and vacuum would be a minimum of 4 or 5 hours on my part. And that's a lot of physical effort on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And there is an aspect of home ownership where you're putting so much of your hard-earned dollars into your home that I view routine cleaning a owner's expense. It's something that has to happen. If your home isn't maintained well, the value of it's going to go down. And once I started to view it as my responsibility to make sure that our home is consistently cleaned, I started to feel a lot less guilty about investing in having a team come to help us out. Not to mention that having it on the calendar that someone's going to come in and make sure the job gets done has freed me up emotionally. I no longer have to dread doing the task, pump myself up to do the task, and push through. It just happens. And there's something to be said about freeing up that bandwidth emotionally, and having a clean home also really benefits my family. Our days run more smoothly because everything stays pretty well organized and maintained. And there's something about visually having a tidy, clean home that reduces overwhelm. And there's so much value in that. Now, again, the going rate can range significantly depending on where you live. But I found that on average, it can cost a team about $25 an hour for cleaning. And let's just say it would take your team 4 hours to clean your home. It may not be a complete cleaning. Maybe we're focusing just on bathrooms and the kitchen. Like, you get to pick what you want to have them clean. That would be about $100 per session. So I want you to be open-minded to the benefits of a biweekly or even a once monthly cleaning to just help tackle that deep cleaning. You could probably manage the touch-ups and the light maintenance here and there on an ongoing basis and find that that alone really helps free you up in so many ways. And man, is it worth that investment. Another resource that I've been using since the start of the year is an app called Copilot Money. This is an AI-powered financial management tool that has completely automated my budgeting and spending, and it has freed up so much time and worry around whether I'm on track or if I got all the receipts together or if I've updated the spreadsheet. And quite honestly, the more I've used it, the more I've realized that it's unrealistic to try to manage all of your spending and expenses on something like a spreadsheet or an organizer when our spending looks so different nowadays with online spending and paying with Apple Pay or Google Pay on the go. And it's just so much to manage. And I've found that this one simple app is helping me track my spending, create my budgets, giving me financial insights, and honestly helping me save so much money. I have gamified my spending and I have so much fun trying to stay under my budget, and I always know how much money I have left in any spending category at any given time. It's been such a great app to use. If you want to give it a try for the next 2 months for free, you can just use my referral code. It's NGQ3CY. I will link to that app in the show notes as well as drop my promo code there for you to give it a try. After that, it's $13 a month, which comes out to a little over $3 a week. And I feel like to just have peace of mind that everything's being tracked and can be referenced at any point in time is a game changer. And then the last resource I want to share with you is one that is an add-on to our $100 budget for 2 reasons. One, it puts you over by about $10 a month, but then also it has an upfront cost. But it felt worth mentioning because it is something that I've been using for the last 2 months in my family that has lightened the mental load so much. And so it's worthy of an honorable mention. And that is our hearth display. This is a large format display screen that's hanging up in our mudroom and has become our family command center. One of my biggest struggles was trying to manage a family calendar for our family. Jason and I use different platforms, and having a physical calendar at home was time consuming to maintain. And quite honestly, I needed a calendar that is on the go with me, and Jason does too. But we had a hard time getting our 2 different platforms to sync up and talk with one another. So a digital family calendar was just an ongoing struggle for us for years. And then on top of that, trying to get my kids to follow routines has also been a struggle. Now, as a teacher, I am well versed in creating different choice boards or checklists and things that can help support my kids. But quite honestly, the minute those get misplaced, the whole system's out the window, and my kids can't always keep track of their checklists. So that was also an ongoing struggle. And the hearth display allows for me to create recurring routines for my kids every day. They have ones for the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and they love it. It is gamifying their routines. They have a say in when they get chores done. They know exactly what's expected of them. Yeah, I can even get granular with the routines in terms of if something happens once a week, like taking the garbage cans out to the curb, it pops up on that day of the week only, and it just helps me to have to manage less because now it's infused clear communication into my family's culture and everyone knows what's expected. That's a game changer. So again, there's an upfront cost with buying the actual device, but once you've made that purchase, you can utilize the native features free of cost. There are constantly new features being released, and those get added into the membership first. So that's just a minimal cost of $10 a month that I have found to be more than worthwhile. And trust me, the effort saved in managing the calendar and micromanaging my kids' routines has been more than worth it. Hearth Display is a new startup that's female founded, which is virtually unheard of in the tech space. So I am so excited to share their product with you because they are truly blazing a trail and it's awesome to be able to support them. Because they are a small operation, they are producing displays as they are ordered. So if you purchase your hearth display, just know that right now I think they're shipping out orders that are placed in May out in July. So if you would like a hearth display for the start of the school year, now would be the time to grab one. I'll link to it in the show notes, and I'll also make sure that that is the hyperlink to get you $40 off your own hearth display if you decide that that's something that you want your family to utilize as well. So there you have it. We have explored actionable, budget-friendly strategies to help you tackle the mental load of motherhood. We discussed the real value of tools like Johanna, Copilot, meal delivery, and home cleaning that you can implement right now, no matter your budget. The goal here is to find out what works for you. Try to find those small but significant ways to lighten your load and give back your time and mental space in a way that give you back the time and mental space that you deserve. I want you to remember this is not about doing everything. It's about doing what's smart and recognizing that your time is precious and finding ways to spend it on what truly brings you happiness and fulfillment. Happiness and fulfillment. Whether it's playing with your kids, pursuing your passions, or just enjoying a moment of quiet, you deserve that time. As we close today's episode, I encourage you, take a moment and reflect on how far you've come. You're not just managing the mental load, you're learning how to approach it in ways that work for you and your family. And that is something to be incredibly proud of. And as we wrap up this week's episode, remember, mom life is complex, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Here's to leading with purpose and intention as you simplify mom life in the week ahead. You've just finished another episode of the Mom Life Handbook podcast. Remember to check out the episode description for all the important links and highlights from today's show. While you're there, tap the subscribe button so that new episodes are always at your fingertips. Before you go, I'd really appreciate hearing your thoughts about the show. It takes as little as 30 seconds to leave a review, and your honest thoughts help me create a better show and help other moms discover it too. And if this episode really helped you out, go ahead and hit the share button to text it to a friend or share it on social media. You never know who in your life might benefit from a little extra support. Don't forget, there are lots of ways to stay connected beyond the podcast. Head over to momlifehandbook.com for additional resources or to learn about how to work with me. And be sure to follow along on Instagram at momlifehandbook. Send me a DM to say hey or to share your thoughts on today's episode. Connecting with you personally is what I really love most. And just in case you need to hear it today, you're doing an incredible job. I know it doesn't always feel like it, but you're here, learning how to be better and do better. Keep working to bring more intention and ease into your life, and know that I'm right here cheering you on. You're creating a beautiful journey for you and your family. I am so proud of you.